Hey, Forge fans, it is the Forge Audio Network. I'm Anthony Urciuoli, your host. It is the match day preview, one like you've never really heard before because we have a complete unknown coming into Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Mont-Royal Outremont, part of the PLSQ, the semi-pro soccer league in Quebec. And Forge and Outremont will go head-to-head in the preliminary round of the Canadian Championship. Midweek, sandwiched in between two CPL League games for Forge. There's always a danger. All week, players, coaches have been talking about this, a potential trap game. They are very aware. No one's getting caught off guard here. The Forge players, coaches, very aware of the dangers ahead against Outremont, a club that's going to be, they're coming in with nothing to lose. They're going to be determined. They're going to want to make a name for themselves, the players, the club, and this is their opportunity. They're on a big stage for many of these players. It's the biggest match of their career, definitely their biggest match of the season for Outremont, and they're going into Tim Hortons Field with nothing to lose. Dangerous for any club on the other end of that, and Forge is going to have to be ready, and believe me, it's all they've been talking about this week. They are very hyper aware of the situation and what they are headed. So what are we going to hear about in this match day preview? We're going to hear from some players, David Chouanier. We are going to hear from Alex Shinyote-Janssen. We're going to hear from head coach and technical director with Forge, Bobby Smirniotis. And we're going to try and get you familiar with this club coming into Hamilton Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Tickets still available, by the way. So if you want to jump on that and experience something new, the weather's been fantastic this week. Why not get outside and watch some soccer? All right, to tee things up here, let's start with some of the players. Alex Shinyote-Janssen, I had a chance to catch up with him this week, and we talked about those things that we just mentioned right off the top here about the dangers facing a club like this, and also training and preparation on a short week, which is something they've been used to in the past, has Forge. No one in the CPL has come even close to playing the amount of minutes, traveling the distance that Forge has in the last few seasons. So a short week is nothing new to them, and that's just among the many things we spoke about. Alex Shinyote-Janssen and I. How do you prepare for a team that you don't really get to see much?
Well, I think it's important that we keep the intensity up. I know it's hard playing teams that are on a normally a lower level than you. It's always tough because they raise their level and they're very excited to play, right? And if we're not careful, we might not play our best, and then it's not much that differs us from them. So I think keeping the intensity up and keeping the focus up is very important, and not taking a win for granted. It's going to be a tough game. We know that they're coming here to want to kick the out of us. So
yeah,
yeah.
Training seems a little up tempo today. Some intensity. Was that part of the plan, just to kind of get people going and get the intensity up for a busy week?
I think it's been a response also to how we've started the season. Obviously, we're not happy with our start, and we know what it takes to get out of there. We've been in this position 2 years, like 2019, and last year we were in the same position basically. So I think we're just trying to get the whole team going and get the intensity up, and starting with this cup game, and then keep going for this season.
While the intensity's up, at the same time, there's a calm. It's not a team that looks like they're worried by any stretch of the imagination.
No, like I said, we a lot of us have been in this position before.
Right.
We trust our footballing aspect. I think it's been, like I said in a couple of interviews before, it's been the details and maybe the intensity we've lacked, and that's the easy part. That's up in the head, right? The footballing aspect we've got, but we gotta up the intensity and the focus.
Yeah, you guys are used to playing on short weeks, so this is nothing new. Do you think some of those experiences with the travel and multiple games a week helps you in a week like this, where you've already been here and you're kind of used to it?
Yeah, maybe. This year has been very calm compared to last as well, right? We had 2 weeks between this and our last game, and now we got 4 days, and if this was last year, this would be a luxury. Even getting 4 or 5 days in between would be a luxury for us. So I think we're handling it okay.
All right, there was Urciuoli Janssen. Side note here, which is it's interesting. Mont-Royal Outremont is actually in 2019 they partnered with CF Montreal of Major League Soccer as part of their scouting and development center, and there's a partnership there. The winner of this match between Forge and Mont-Royal Outremont will likely go on to face CF Montreal of Major League Soccer. And there's another kind of side angle there. There's a lot going on here. A lot at stake. David Chouanière, attacker for Forge FC. His brother plays for CF Montreal. There's a potential they could meet in the next round. So a lot of moving parts here. And speaking of David, he was also made available in a press conference this week. And here's David. A matchup like this, as much as you're worried about the result and wanting to play well, on the big picture here for Canada and for soccer, how positive is it to see just all these different levels? You're playing a club from the PLSQ, you're playing a CPL club on the weekend, then you're playing an MLS club. It looks like a great time right now for Canadian soccer.
Super great time. I think soccer in Canada is improving really fast. Having a competition like Canadian Championship, you have teams from PLSQ, from Ligue 1, from CPL, from MLS all together, and they face each other. It's just exciting to see the difference between the leagues, or what kind of upset you can see between the team, the matchup. So it's going to be really exciting to watch that.
Yeah, and has the emphasis this week just been on the fact that this club coming in is going to be hungry for a win, and a club that has nothing to lose can be dangerous at times.
Yeah, we know the importance of this game for us. We know we're going to face a team who's going to be hungry, who's going to be physical, going to be ready to do everything to disturb our game plan. I think we need to show up and do what we have to do and execute as much as we can our game plan, and we'll come up with the win.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Next question will go over to Mitchell Tierney. Go ahead, Mitchell.
I know you don't want to look ahead too much, Debbie, but how much of a motivation is it, that the bracket works out, that Montreal is up next, and your brother potentially awaits in that match, and obviously a chance to get revenge for what happened last year?
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because we have to face that Outremont first. I think if we look too much ahead, it can be a problem for us. I think we need to tomorrow be ready and execute everything we need to do. But obviously, when I saw that after this team we the chance to face Montreal again, it's super exciting for me. I have my brother who plays there. Everybody knows that, so it's just fun. But we need to win tomorrow before. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm assuming the mentality of their players coming to this match, like similar to when you guys play MLS clubs, like they will want to, they'll want to show their abilities against a bigger club like you guys. What will that be like, playing against players who are motivated in that way?
I mean, we've been in that position. I think it's similar for us when we played the CONCACAF Champions League. We were the underdog, and we know how it feels, and it's exciting. You go to a game with a lot of motivation, excitement. They're going to feel the same when they're going to come to our stadium, face a good team, and they're going to give everything they have. It's probably the biggest game of the year. Some guys, probably the biggest game of their career. So it's going to be exciting for them, and we need to be ready to match their energy.
David Chouanière, Forge FC attacker. Here's the other part of this. We can talk about what's at stake and who's coming in the other club. For Forge, though, they want to be better. They have not started. I mean, they have one win through their first 4 games. Forge obviously have higher expectations on themselves. The fans have higher expectations. And this is also an opportunity for Forge FC to right their game, to pay attention to the details that perhaps they haven't been too focused on. That's something we'll probably get into with head coach and technical director Bobby Smirniotis in seconds. But for Forge, they want to play better. This is an opportunity for them to up their game ahead of their home match this weekend when they play Ottawa at Tim Hortons Field. But before that, one foot in front of the other, and that first foot is headed right toward Mont-Royal Outremont. We had a chance to speak with head coach and technical director of Forge FC, Bobby Smirniotis.
It's the beauty of cup competition. I mean, I think that's what everyone loves in the competitions across the world. You get each level of the game involved, and I think that's what makes these games special throughout.
And you've been talking about it. Some of your guys have been talking about it, and maybe just reiterate just how hungry and how this team you're playing can be tricky, and the fact that they're going to be very motivated to make sure their presence is felt.
Yeah, of course. You're playing a team that's done very well in the PLSQ over the years. Obviously, they're champion. That's why they're here. So there's a lot of quality in the squad. And in the end of the day, let's be honest, they've got nothing to lose and everything to gain from these types of matches. So for them, you expect them to come out here and give everything they have. It's one game, and that's the beauty and the beast part of the competition for this year. It's a single game. So we have to be at our best. Concentration has to be high, our energy has to be high, and we have to use, what's our advantage playing here at Tim Hortons Field, and make sure that the opponent feels that from the beginning of the game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Next question will go over to Mitchell Tierney. Go ahead, Mitchell.
Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, you mentioned some of the advantages, and one of them, obviously, your assistant and the familiarity he has with that organization. How important is that? And I mean, that's got to be a little bit special as well to see the club he spent so many years with represented in the competition.
Yeah, there's two sides to it. One is the advantage gives us of knowing the opponent a little bit better, knowing the players, knowing who their players are and the intricacies involved in how they play. With them not having played any official matches this year, it's important to have that scouting depth on the players and know their qualities. We've been able to see a lot of them from their games last year and a little bit in what they've done in some of the friendly matches this year. But of course, that helps. And yeah, for Kit, it's a place he spent a good part of his last 20 or so years involved with that club and helping it grow. So I think, that's also a little bit of a special moment for him and the club who's coming here to see him involved in the pro game.
And perhaps no team in Canada has as much cup competition as you guys over the past couple of years. What have you kind of learned about these single game eliminations?
Details. Football is one thing, and we love to focus on our football, but the details make all the difference in the world. These are games of moments. So you have to be in games like this aggressive in the way you play, but always turned on to everything. The most important play in this game is a throw-in. And that kind of puts it down to the smallest little detail, and that's what we have to look at tomorrow and make sure that we don't have any low levels of concentration, because we've got an opponent on the other side who's coming in here and they want to make something big happen, and rightfully so. That's what they're working on. So I think everything comes down to the small details and concentration in these knockout games.
All right, the stage is set at Tim Hortons Field Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Forge FC hosting Outremont in Canadian Championship preliminary round action. We're lucky this week. 2 home games for Forge. Double the opportunity that you would typically get to catch some Forge action live. So you can catch it Wednesday night at 7 o'clock and again Saturday at 4 o'clock when Forge FC host Atletico Ottawa in domestic league action in the CPL. Also, keep it locked to the Forge Audio Network. You can find us on social media. You can subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube. You can check us out on the official Forge FC website. Plenty of opportunity to get your fill of Forge content, and we have plenty more coming up this week. It's a short week for Forge. It's a longer week for us in a good way. That just means more content will be delivered straight to you through all those avenues I mentioned. So again, Forge in action Wednesday night at home. Then again on Saturday. I'll be at both matches, and I hope to see you there. We are the Forge, the mighty, mighty.